Hey guys, it's Steve from Asian Boss. Today we're going to get people to figure out the meanings of some. I'm going to give you a few English words that Korean people use in Korea that have their own meanings. Tell me what you think they mean or the context in which the word. He's bigger than Jerry Seinfeld. Okay. Right now, he performs at like medicine, which I would welcome anyway. In fact, I used to be extremely shy and introverted, pretending like I was somebody cool, but I knew I wasn't. I faked it a lot.
You faked it?
I faked it. Had a bit of like an identity crisis. On the inside, I felt like a fraud. I'm not even American. What the hell are we going to do when we come to Korea? I'm not in my early 20s anymore. We're not that interesting. I'm not that interesting. No wonder why you look so chilled out all the time. You just got the vibe of a guy who has money, right? You're like so... It's just freaking amazing. This is like a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. This global shit, this doesn't happen every 10 years. This only happens once a century. Maybe not even that.
First thing first, can you briefly introduce yourself and then I'll just talk about Asian Boss and how you studied it and when you studied it and things like that.
So I started this YouTube channel called Asian Boss about 1.5 years ago. At the time, we felt as though basically doing some sort of a media or making videos is the best, one of the most effective and fun ways to spread our message. We just wanted to do something with love, and this is something we just wanted to give it a shot. But then gradually we really got into it because it was so fun. Whereas what I was used to do was very, almost like I'm selling my time. Yeah, being a lawyer, you have a billable hours, you essentially get paid by the hours. That is a deliberately vague point because Asian Boss is not necessarily referring to ourselves. Okay. So more like that anybody can be. Yeah. You know, one of those like aspirational things.
Transformational moments in your own life.
I'd say it's a very gradual process.
Okay.
Definitely, I wasn't the most confident. In fact, I used to be extremely shy and introverted.
So going back to, let's say, I'm not going to go back to junior high or high school, like in your college years. Did you go to college in Australia?
College as in university. Yeah.
So back then, socially...
I faked it a lot.
You faked it?
I faked it. In other words, I wasn't, but I acted...
You tried it?
I acted like I was the popular kid. On the inside, I felt like a fraud because I knew I wasn't this person. So I was just too busy, being a nerd, studying hard, but had a bit of like an identity crisis. Had a bit of like a major break. So, I just had like a...
What was that about, if I can ask?
Yeah, living that double life, like it took me a while to just build that foundation of who I was. Yeah. And I started going out a lot as well. Yeah. Meeting a lot of people. I think because of the things that I've gone through in terms of, I know I wasn't almost like set from the very beginning. I had to go through a lot of life experience, and I think that kind of makes me be more relatable to other people. Okay. That I can empathize and I can understand a different perspective a lot more. Yeah. And plus, I think I just naturally have this sort of intellectual curiosity about how different people feel.
What was it like to work as a lawyer? You worked as a lawyer for 5 years, right? In Australia, in Sydney.
Wasn't too bad actually. It wasn't
too bad.
In fact, that's what I've always wanted to do. I wanted to become a lawyer. Yeah. Ever since I was like 13 or 14. The law firm that I went was one of the top law firms in Australia as well as globally. But yeah, I mean, when I got there, it was a lot more stressful than I thought. And the first thing is you work extremely long hours. You have no weekends. Right. Which wouldn't matter if you enjoy it. But I didn't enjoy it that much. Yeah. My office was on the 58th floor. Wow. And it was just amazing view. Right. You never get to enjoy it because you're always literally. But I just had to experience it. It's like just something you need to get it out of your system. Right. I had that, and I did get it out of my system.
Do you have plan to join the existing Korean multi-channel network?
I just don't think that they add real value to what I'm trying to achieve.
What would you do about the language barrier, Westerners Korean content, and then they didn't have to understand the lyrics and the message behind the song. But let's say that you have the comedy show, the Korean TV comedy stand-up, things like that. You need to understand the language. How would you overcome the language barrier between the Korean language and English? I think I can point out.
Don't do stand-up comedy.
Don't do stand-up comedy.
No.
Then what kind of content do you want to bring to the global stage?
At the moment, it's not confirmed. My guess would be like starting with short films.
Oh, okay. Like a documentary thing?
But I don't know. But all I know is that when it comes to exporting the Asian cultural element that's embodied as an individual creator, it's difficult. It's very difficult.
Kobe report and things like that. I loved it. But then I was thinking that if you see the 무한도전, 유재석, 노홍철, or those like Kang Myung-soo, those people, only if the Westerners can understand the Korean language, I think it's going to be like boom. That's what I thought like almost like 10 years ago. But then I was thinking, how can I transport the Korean comedy shows? Like,
because I have a slightly different view. I think what they are doing, and even if you just translate the language, it wouldn't work. But that's just my personal gut feeling. It's not about, like, they're pretty funny, but I think that's because I can understand Korean in their own context. For some reason, I just feel like that won't translate.
You don't have like any particular type of content, Korean content in mind.
No.
So you're gonna just come up with the,
Yep.
as you go, you're gonna find the strategy.
Yep.
I think that's good.
Yeah.
Rather than.
I mean, we've got ideas, but we just need to try it. But
Okay.
I just can't say what that is
I
at
see.
this stage. Yeah.
Did you have any particular audience in mind when you studied the Asian Plus, like Western?
Yeah, we want it to be global.
Went to global.
Yeah, we definitely want it to be global. That's why, and despite the fact that you speak in English.
Yeah. Are you and Kay relocating to Korea?
Yep. Trying to come back as soon as I can.
Is that your next goal?
Well, we are in the process of forming an MCN. So eventually, yeah, it will become some sort of a business model, but it won't be the traditional MCN as we know.
What is traditional MCN and what is your
Well, I mean,
vision of MCN?
as you know, there are a number of MCNs even in Korea,
Right.
and they're like essentially like talent agencies. That's not what we have in mind. Yeah, we don't want to be managing people. But
You're not going to nurture them.
No, we will.
You will.
We will nurture them, but it's just that we probably try not to take any money from them.
Okay.
At least in an unfair way.
You mentioned your vision in one of your videos that your vision is to encourage the Asia's young people to have dream and pursue their dream instead of like just getting into big corporation or become a lawyer or a doctor. That sounds more like a bit of a social entrepreneur.
Yeah, I don't like to be categorized.
Okay.
There are areas that I'm interested in.
Yeah.
And I don't think they're mutually exclusive.
Yeah.
You can do both, I think. But ultimately, I do have.
What do you do for fun? Is that like everything that you do right now?
I'm having a great time. Like
Great time,
to
yeah.
me, like the very fact that I can afford to do this, so meet
Yeah.
different people, just make content or think of stuff to do.
Yeah.
It's so much better and so much more fun than being stuck in an office. Look, hopefully the fun element and the very industry that I'm in, that I love, will be enough to keep me going and allow me to deal with these grunt work of it needs to give me some sense of purpose, because I think what excites me is not just about creating but growing something. And that includes, essentially growing a company as well.
Right.
Yeah, as long as I see some sort of a progress on a daily basis, that what I'm doing is actually getting towards somewhere.
Yeah.
Whether it be growing a company to a certain size, or reaching a certain number of views or subscribers. That's important, I think. If I keep that in perspective, that I'm making a difference, that because of what I do, something is literally growing.
Right.
Elon Musk talks about running a company is freaking hard. And because if I had a choice, he would just create and he would just work on the engineering side.
Yeah.
Just invent stuff, but he has a business to run, and that's something I fully appreciate.
Yeah.
But if the business grows, that means I can do this. that gives me a sense of purpose and direction, that the hard work or grunt work, it's not going to be a chore. It'll still be a hell of a lot more exciting than doing that, than essentially working as a lawyer, working for somebody else. Yeah, but maybe one day I won't wake up. It's like, dream of a content in the middle of the night. Yeah. Because I have to manage people, and I think it'll have its own unique set of challenges, which I would welcome anyway. It's just something I have to do. But I actually look forward to that, because we're thinking at a bigger scale. And we need to worry about, okay, how do we get funding? How do we do this, blah, blah, blah. And suddenly, all these financial security, all these money questions is like, shit, we need to literally survive. What the hell are we going to do when we come to Korea? Yeah. And what do we do?
Renting apartment and things like that.
Exactly, so, that's not fun. Yeah. And especially when I'm not in my early 20s anymore, and you look at all the other people, they seem to be pretty well settled. Yeah. But that's like a double-edged sword, right? That could be a good thing, it could be a bad thing. It all comes down to this one word: uncertainty. Uncertainty. There are so many things that are uncertain. That's if it's too certain, it's boring. It's too predictable. But if it's too much uncertainty, you just have no idea what's going to happen. It can be a bit destabilizing, right? I just need to learn to accept that as, okay, that's just the way it's going to be. Fine.
Do you care about politics?
I keep up with politics, yes. And I would not. I don't personally have any political ambition. Yeah, again, I don't want to be categorized.
The reason why I'm asking about politics is that the situation where they are has a lot to do with politics, political situation. In Korea, a lot of people don't go to poll, they don't vote, and then they don't care about politics. It's pretty safe to say that only the 40s and 50s and 60s, the older generation, they care about politics, and then they kind of bring in the older agenda into this age, and I think that has a lot to do with the current situation where the Korean young people are in.
I'm more personally interested in the trends around what's going on around the world. Like, for example, these cultural shifts or the economic opportunities that one particular country faces, that it doesn't really matter who the president is. It doesn't matter who, that's my belief. Okay. That one person is not solely responsible for creating millions of jobs. Yes, it could be a policy decision. Yeah, I get it. But there are more effective ways to create jobs, like being an entrepreneur and you hire people. Right. That's more direct, rather than all these bureaucracies and these internal politics. Right. That's why I'm not too keen on the whole getting involved. It's oh, young people need to go out and vote more. Yeah. Because they're not going to do it anyway, even if I tell them to. So, I really believe in giving people what they want. Okay. You need to meet the demand. If that happen to intersect with what you think you can deliver, that it's aligned with your core value, I will say this: I would like to become a visionary in the context of fundamentally changing a few things, like education system, like the way things are taught, or like the way. For example, a different, because I'm a huge fan of Elon Musk, and I would love to be able to invest and literally nurture people who does have world-changing ideas in the future.
Are you an idealist?
I'm an optimist.
As opposed to a realist?
No, I'm an optimist.
Optimist.
I'm not super realist or idealistic. I am an optimist.
Not a zero-sum game.
Yeah, it's not a zero-sum game. There's enough pies for everyone, and you just gotta think creative.
Life is brutal, or life is
Yeah, I mean that's something people ask me all the time. It's oh, you've gone through so many shit. To me, it's just an experience. To me, it's a valuable part of my character building. That's something I'm huge on.
Do you look up to anybody?
Yep, Elon Musk.
Elon Musk.
Bill Clinton.
Bill Clinton.
Jack Ma.
You wanna model your life after
not
their
necessarily.
lives?
Not
or-
necessarily, because I mean, I don't have much of a mentor. I just do what I do. I guess when I say
Yeah.
look up to, I'm mentioning the names that inspires me.
Inspire you.
That
Okay.
I was like, man, imagine if I could communicate like Bill
You wanna
Clinton.
follow the footsteps. It's not that.
Not their exact career or footsteps.
Some people work on that. Like they
yeah.
have a model, mentor. And,
No, I think I just create my own path, but I can take away from like Bill Clinton, the way he talks, the way he communicates his message. It's just freaking amazing.
And you think that YouTube will be
Not YouTube, but it's a cultural shift.
culture thing? Yeah.
Cultural shift from Western power coming to Asia.
Oh, okay. Wow, you're thinking that big. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Western power. What if like that's 50 years later?
It's already happening. No,
Yeah.
no. That's next 10 years.
Next 10 years.
Economical power-wise,
Yeah.
China's already got money.
Right. Right.
What follows is a cultural shift.
The Western-
It's like this. The money comes to finance, the investment
Yeah.
moves, and the technologies follow, and the cultural shift follows. It's just gonna happen no matter whether I do nothing or not. So I might as well be riding the wave. But you can't go against the thing. If I don't make $1 billion, well, I'll only make $10 million. Yeah, I'm not gonna complain. That's what I'm saying. You just can't lose.
So
Because
you-
even
yeah.
on Asia must channel itself
Yeah.
just based on the Asian Bus brand in the next 3 to 4 years.
Yeah.
I'll make probably 10 times the money than I could ever make as a lawyer. I could be wrong, but I don't think I'm wrong. I don't. And this is why I keep saying this is like a once in a lifetime opportunity. This global shit, because this doesn't happen every 10 years. This only happens once a century. Maybe not even that.